Before I get started, I have to tell you all, you may not realize it, you've all been part of a major life event for me this evening. So I have two brothers back in Kansas, and I've gotten to do some amazing things as part of this job. We were at the UN in Vienna a week ago, and we've been at the White House and all over the place. I just sent them a selfie of me with Garrett Bowles, and I have finally achieved something important. They are very impressed. As you've heard tonight, 1 in 5 children have learning and attention issues. I can tell you firsthand how challenging that struggle is because I was one of those kids. Every day I sat in a classroom that wasn't designed for learners like me. Most days I was sequestered in the far reaches of my school at a place called the Learning Center. I would go home to my mom, a single mother in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, who was doing the best she could, but was at a loss. You see, in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, we didn't have a Dr. Ellen Broughton or a Dr. Manju Banerjee. We didn't have a Winston Prep or an Eagle Hill school. My mom was desperate, and there was no place to go. In the meantime, I was heading down a spiral that I think many people in this room know something about. Every day, my self-confidence was dwindling. Every day, my self-esteem took a hit, and the worst part was that after a while, I began to believe what everyone was telling me implicitly, that I just wasn't as smart as the kids next to me at school. School would never get much easier for me. I always had to work twice as hard as the other kids, and some days it felt insurmountable. But I always knew that I had someone in my corner, my mom. And like so many of us in this room, after a while, I learned to build on my strengths and find resiliency in places I didn't know it existed. My mom made that possible for me, and she's the reason that I'm standing here in front of you tonight. That is why we created Understood. Because there is nothing more powerful than a knowledgeable and confident advocate in a child's corner. Today, parents like my mom finally have a place to go to be heard and access thousands of pieces of content that are clear and simple and digestible for them. A few years ago at this very event, Shelley London told you about a very big idea that Fred and Nancy had. What she didn't tell you was how much she did to take that idea to a whole new level. Through her leadership of the creation of Understood, Shelley, we are beyond grateful for what you have done. Thank you. In the 3 years since we launched Understood, millions and millions of people have come to us and become part of the Understood community. Parents who are searching, not just for answers, but for hope, finally have a place to go. We are now averaging more than 2 million people every single month who are using our content, tools, and resources. Thanks to your help, millions of parents are more confident, more knowledgeable, and now they know that their children can do great things. We've received thousands of notes from parents all over the country telling us that they finally understand their children. And many, many notes, I wish I could share all of them with you, parents writing us often through tears saying that because of Understood, their children are finally happy and succeeding in school and outside of school. Thanks to our friends at the Ad Council, our national ad campaign has been seen by tens of millions of people who now know that they are not alone. There's a place for them called understood.org. We have done so much over the last 3 years, and we still have so much to do. With the support of the people in this room, I promise you, we will not stop until every single family gets the support they deserve. Until every parent who has a child that's struggling knows that they can do this. We won't stop until ultimately every single child with learning and attention issues is able to achieve their full potential. All of you have been with us through the beginning. You inspire us with your passion, your generosity, and your incredible commitment to the 1 in 5. On behalf of my mom and me, and the millions of families like us across the country, thank you.